God bless you. Welcome to the Stephen Smith Show. Glad to be here on another week. Glad to be able to be seen. A couple weeks ago, I had all types of malfunctions on all my equipment, and I watched the show play back this past Sunday, and I really enjoyed it. I said it would be the one time I had a perfect taping. I have to get with Miss Debbie on that. God bless each of you. We're another week in this world, another week in the Memphis town. I think I was reading today, I saw it on Facebook, had read it, about the death of attorney Marvin Ballard, prominent attorney. I think he's Leslie's dad and Blake's granddad. So that should be a big funeral right there, if everybody that he's ever helped. So praise go with that family. God bless First Baptist Bill. I went there this weekend. They had their 178th anniversary. And two people said that they would watch my show. I want to call them out by name. Lorraine Wilkes and also my brother Charles Coker at Temple Deliverance. God bless you, Brother Coker. Today, I had a thought early today, because I know in corporate settings, even in corporate settings, there are times where people will quote Martin King. He's very easy to talk about sometime when you talk about his dream, when you talk about all of the things that he said that you liked. But you got to think, this man was averaging 30 death threats a day. You don't get 30 death threats a day for making everybody happy. He had people from the folks that were for the war, they were threatening him. The FBI was threatening him. Other black activists were threatening him. He was being threatened. The newspapers were calling for his death. And so it's so easy to call Martin's name out and extol Martin when I think people don't know what Martin's commitment is. And what I want to say is not that this message is that much about Martin, but I wanted to talk to you today about staying quiet when the moment demands otherwise. Staying quiet when the moment demands otherwise. Martin King, one of his quotes that I think were so applicable to this particular title tonight, he says, "For evil to succeed, all it needs is for good men to do nothing." Folks, look, I want to give a scripture basis for what I'm saying. It's not that I just want to touch it. There's silence is noted at particular times in Scripture, and silence, tad bit, is kind of spoken out against. 2 Timothy 4, verses 1 through 4. Paul, in writing to Timothy, said, "Preach the word, be instant in season and out of season. Reprove," that means correct. Rebuke, that means condemn. Exhort, that means to push on or rally on, with all long-suffering and doctrine. For the time will come, and we're now living in that day, where they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. We're definitely living in a day with itching ears. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry. Staying quiet when the moment demands otherwise. My brothers and sisters, we're living in such a critical time right now. We're living in a time where we see the ethos of so many cold-hearted people starting to be manifested right now. We're seeing what appears to be the culmination of times. what everybody has told us for time immemorial, that we were going to be living in the last days. We were foretold that perilous times shall come. I don't think any of us, if you live in Memphis, Tennessee, will doubt that we're living now in that particular day. But folks, this is a day that we're commanded by Scripture to preach the word. Be instant in season and out of season. Everybody knows how to give an in-season word. But when you give that out-season word, God bless you, Brother Big Joe Pulliam, for the mayor of Walker Homes. I got big folk that like me. Joe, the mayor over there at Walker Homes. Big Joe, you my guy, man. Preach the word. Be instant in season and out of season. Reprove. So that means you got to sometimes say things that people don't like. We're living in a day now where so many people are reticent. They don't want to say anything. They don't want to tip the scales in a negative manner. They don't want to tick anybody off. They want to stay comfortable. Everybody, I just want peace of mind. But folks, is peace of mind really what you should have? Well, we're living in a moment now where staying quiet has to be in direct aversion to what God has planned for your life at this particular moment. Folks, you heard that old deacon and that old preacher that told, Lord, forgive us of sins of commission and omission. We all know those commission sins. Those are the ones that you can see and the one that you remember. But what about the sins of omissions? What we didn't do, what we didn't say? Folks, we're going to be judged for every word that we give and every word that we did not give. We're living in such a critical time. We're seeing purpose manifesting right before us. Our destiny seems to be lying in wait. We're living in such a powerful, tense time. We see racial angst starting to get to ridiculous proportions. We see the venom that is portrayed by many people through all types of forms of social media, all types of traditional print media and other media. And we're at a time now where it's so easy to be quiet and just want to get off of the grid where everybody's tussling. But we're living in a moment now that God calls so many of us. He called me, and I'm pretty sure he's called a lot of you to the kingdom for such a time as this. And I'm telling you right now that if you're staying quiet, that we're living in a moment that demands otherwise. That God had looked over the sapphire seals of heaven's gates way before your mama met your daddy, way before your granddaddy winked at your grandmama, and God had ordained you to be a prophet. He called you to the kingdom for a time such as this. And folks, I'm speaking that word to you tonight. I know that everybody wants to be quiet because we all have our corporate jobs. We all have we got baby girls' tuitions and our sons off at college, and we don't want to do anything risky. But I'm telling you that we're living in a moment now where time is winding up like sands in the hourglass. So now are going the days of our lives, and we're living right now in such a critical moment that I don't think that each one of us can stay quiet because the moment demands otherwise. Folks, I'm saying that Ephesians 6 verse 13 warns us of this particular day. Therefore, take the whole armor of God that you may be able to withstand in the evil day. We're definitely living in an evil day, and having all to stand therefore. Folks, look, maybe we're living in so much of a like economy, like my picture, like my profile page, like my business page, like what I put on Twitter, like what I put on Periscope. We're in such a like economy, but Jesus told us that we live in a little different time. John, in the Gospel of St. John 15, verses 18 to 19, Jesus talking, it's in the red. If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love his own. But because you are not of this world, but I have chosen you out of this world, therefore the world hated you. Folks, you're going to have some haters, and you're going to have some people that that you're an offense to them, because you have the gall, the intestinal fortitude, the unmitigated gall to speak out with evil when you see it. You want to call sin, sin. You speak out against that hidden thing that nobody's talking about today, and they used to call it sin when I was a little boy. People preached on sin when I was a little boy, but you don't get preaching on sin. Now you get 8 steps to your breakthrough, 27 steps to dominating the marketplace, and 32 ways to be more attractive to the opposite sex. We're preaching to the flesh in this particular season at such a critical hour. Folks, everything is laid in the balance. I feel that old thing, that handwriting on the wall, many tickle ye farcing, that ye have been weighed in the balance and found yet wanting. Child of God, I'm speaking that to you right now. If there's ever a time that some of us need to get up and raise our voices, it's right now. That's how evil persists. Evil succeeds time and again because good men and good women see it and don't say anything about it. Folks, we can just be quiet. And some of the problems in our heart, in our neighborhoods, we all know about Black Lives Matter. We know how that some of our people are treated wrong by law enforcement. We know that inequities and injustice still reigns in this particular day. But sometimes black lives gotta matter to black folks. And folks, there's no snitching thing. Folks, if you steal from my house, I'm not supposed to report you when it hurts me. Folks, in this hour, we're living in a moment where we're staying quiet, and when this moment demands otherwise. Folks, purpose, each day that we see is laden with purpose. It has sprinklings of destiny throughout each and every particular day that we live in. And if we are going to be called to the kingdom for such a moment, such a time, such an hour as this, it's going to be very difficult for us to stay quiet when the moment demands otherwise. I want some folks that Martin King once said that the only way for the man to ride your back is if it's already been. Folks, it's to our season to speak up as men. It's time out for us scratching where we don't itch, laughing where we're not tickled, and us speaking with the voices of little boys and little girls. Folks, the Bible says that when I was a child, I thought as a child. And one of the other things, it said, I spoke as a child, but now that I'm a man, it's time to put away childish things. Proverbs 31 verse 9 says, speak up. Folks, that's a word to you right now, because there's some great saint out there in SVP land that is not speaking up. Speak up, judge righteously, and defend the rights of the afflicted and oppressed. Folks, I promise, I know promotion has its place and notoriety has its place, and it also has its price. I've always fought for the small man. If I was a brother that was just out for me, I could have been so much further ahead individually, but I like sleeping at night. I know what God called me to. God gave me the heart, the makeup to love people that are in a station far different from me sometimes. And folks, I believe that God is calling some of us to more than just flesh. He's calling us to more than just our individual personal mirrors and our individual driveways and our individual closets. That God's calling you to the kingdom for a critical moment to turn what could be a hellhole around. This city is going to hell in a handbasket, and then the answers to this city's problems will not come from some political office. It'll come from God's people standing up and speaking out at a moment so critical like this. And I'm speaking that